Just going to do a quick audio test, guys, before we start the stream. Hello guys, welcome to the stream. I just wanted to have a look at where some of these other planes were, just because I can't actually see them anywhere. But you know, I think they're somewhere. You know, what version of Atlantic was? Oh, there it is. So we can see a few planes about the place. But anyway, we are here on the ground in Manchester. No ATC as of yet today, sadly. But we are looking at a wonderful flight today. I am really hoping that the winds don't change in Innsbruck, because doing a runway 26 approach will be a lot more difficult than a 08, I think. The 26 will require the circle to land, I think. At the moment we are taking an RNAV, there's no ILS down in Innsbruck, but yeah, it's going to be mostly visual through the mountains. I've got some nice scenery installed. It seems to all be working, and on the front of scenery, guys, I got GSX working last night after a lot of little pouring around forums and the like. I discovered that the maximum BGL file size, BGL file being the file for the airport, that GSX allowed was 1.2 megabytes, and the ones that didn't work were larger than that. So basically I went into the configuration file. I will show you guys how to do it. I'm probably going to do a video separately showing you guys how to do it, because it's a massive save. I don't understand why there's a file limit of 1.2 meg, but you can put up the file limit to anything you like. The forum I had recommended 8 meg, but obviously you can put it up even more. It's something to do with reducing loading times, I think. Having the lower, is what it said on GSX's forum. Having a lower amount of meg it has to load in reduces the loading times of GSX. However, the loading time to get the airport cache just now when I loaded in was exactly the same. So who knows, really? It's a bit of an odd one. But never mind. So I'll go ahead and start planning today's flight then. So today we are flying it from Manchester down to LOWI, Innsbruck. We are taking 7,269, okay, 68 then plane, kilos of fuel. This plane is obsessed with getting everything like exactly equal. And then in terms of the payload, was it 135? Okay. Yes, 135. So no one in business then. No, first, I mean, nice and empty. We're looking for a zero fuel weight of 55.8. So I'm looking for 3.7. So 1850 in both. We go at 55.8, cool. So that's all our load in. We've got a load weight of around 70%, so not bad. Get on the ground power. The AP you can come off. We'll get the external power armed. Not the external power, the emergency lights. Cool, all that's on, all the stuff that needs to be on is on for now. Won't do the electric gems yet, we'll do that afterwards. So finally this can go onto the doors page. We'll close that door and then open it when it's requested. And let's get GSX set up on boarding. go. Excellent. So GSX should now load in. Lag, lag, lag. There we go. GSX is loaded in. So we are here on the ground in Echo Golf Charlie Charlie. Yes, I've operated the Jetway GSX. Manchester. And we're heading down to Lima Oscar Whiskey India, LOWI, Innsbruck. And call sign today is Skyways 846. We are flying Fly UK again today. We're going to start that flight actually. Haven't flown Fly UK 737 for quite some time. So today we could have used either 05 left or right. There's no ATC, so there's no set number. I decided to use left as it's the one that's basically it's the one that's closest to the taxiway. It's the one that's easiest to reach from taxiing without having to cross a runway. So it's the one we typically use at Manchester when there's no ATC online directing it. So 5 left, and we're going to be taking the Listo to Sierra. And then from Listo, we're going to be jumping on UL 612. I love the typing mechanism in this. It's way better than the one in the Berg 787. It doesn't pick up what you type sometimes. To L10 via the Hornley VOR. Onto Rip. I just accidentally extended the speed brakes. There. And we're heading from L10 onto UL9 via DVR. Onto UL 607 by Conan. Onto M150. That should be via the Kilo Oscar Kilo VOR. And we saw pilots something like yesterday on the way into Heathrow. That was hilarious. Honestly, why do they name a VOR that right? To UZ210. That should be via KRH to UL607 via Tedgo to Zebix. Quite a long route today then. It's not that long a flight, about an hour and 40 minutes we're expecting in the air today, so not too bad. We'll go ahead and execute that. And then arrival, got no ILS. We're approaching at the moment an RNAV Zulu, runway 08, with the Almem transition and the Zebix 1 Bravo is what we're thinking today. So we'll go ahead and activate that. We're looking for about 600 and something miles. There you go, 676, 673, that's fine. We did change the departure slightly because of the new runway, so that's probably why. But there we go, that is that set then. Go ahead and get all this set up here, and I'll have a look at the plan in a moment. We'll get weather and turbulence set on there, we'll get weather active on here. Hopefully no, there doesn't look like there's any crazy weather in Innsbruck. It's partly cloudy in Innsbruck, a few clouds at 3,000 feet, and, you know, Manchester is absolutely clear. 15 degrees here today, so lovely weather over in Manchester. We'll get the zero fuel weight plugged in. Reserves are going to be 2. Cost the next day is 26. Standard for Fly UK, that is. And we will be... Oh, there have been some changes. New apron area, Zulu 2 stop bar. Okay. So, there was a slight change to Manchester, I just looked then. We are cruising at flight level 370 today, going up pretty high. Cruise winds are going to be 011 at 28. Boom, put that in there. So yeah, we are looking at a slight tailwind today, so not bad. That's it for sim brief. Look at our departure now. Transition level, transition altitude is going to be 5,000 feet here. No descent path after WI 750. Okay, I mean we might have to like hand fly half of the departure anyway, but I'll look at it. No D rates, flaps 5 for takeoff, and get V1, VR, V2. Trim needs to be set to 4.5. Now I don't think there is any way to view the trim without just looking down here. So. That's about 4.5. They go 4.5 exactly. Set on the trim. We have flaps 5 departure. V2 is 145.
Right next to her.
VNav and LNav. Why is LNav not working? Oh, what explains what's happened to our route. I have a feeling I've set up something wrong here, but I don't think I have. I really think I've set something up wrong because the LNAV just doesn't work sometimes, but yeah. I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one on this plane. Sometimes the LNAV just doesn't want to fire into life until after you take off. It's a bit weird. This can go straight up to 37,000, really. Boarding's basically finished. We'll get the APU fired up now, and the electric gens can get fired up as well. Packs can come off for engine start, and we'll get our fuel pumps on as well, and our beacon light can also come on. There we go. I think that is it. Everything's all set up, yeah. So we'll go ahead and tune ourselves to Unicom actually. 122.8. And what about I use voice Unicom? How about that? Let's use voice Unicom. Manchester traffic, Skyways 846, push and start. We're going to taxi to runway 5 left. We're using the Listo 2 Sierra departure today. Manchester traffic. Because I may as well use voice Unicom since we've got it. Well, I don't know, the message doesn't stay there. That's kind of the downside of using it, but whatever. Right, APU can come on, which means we can get our ground power off. We can close all our doors as well. Why didn't the main exit close? Right, close this time, main exit, please. There we go. Second time lucky. Right, ground power off, wheel chocks off, parking brake on. Right, everything's all good then. This thing does have pushback built in, but as I said, we have GSX working, which is excellent. We've got GSX working for all airports now, which is great. Seriously, what's happened? Right, flight director's off, and then back on. No LNAV then for the first part of departure. So we'll go ahead and look at the plan for today. So we need to be above, at, oh no, they always call different things. At pole 28, it is 5,000, between 5,000 and 3,000. Oh, that's fine, yeah. So we need to be above 3,000, above 4,000, and then at 5,000 at Listo. And then from there, we can just climb up as we please. No ATC to give us clearance beyond 5,000 early, so we'll have to leave it. Heading quite a standard sort of route today, pretty much straight to Innsbruck. And then obviously we've got this sort of bit of an interesting RNAV arrival through the Alps, through the mountains, and then on a, what's that? Oh my word, it's a 2.6 mile final. Okay, yeah. Interesting. Very interesting approach. Okay. Yeah, as I said, I'm not a proper flight simmer until I fly into Innsbruck. That's how it works. We'll set squawk to 2200. I'll get that squawking. And we can go ahead and push back now. So I'll push back to the left, I think. So yeah, I'm hoping the winds don't change over in Innsbruck, but who knows. At the moment, they're variable at 2 knots, which is, we'll just use 08. There's no ATC or anything, so be interesting how it all works out.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Cool. Everything's all good, everything's all started. And the packs are off. This can go up to our cruising altitude, actually. And everything else is all good and all on, yep.
Locking gear.
I don't know, for some reason our LNAV isn't activating, but whatever. We can activate it above 400 feet anyway. LNAV is the one that doesn't come into place until after 400 feet, I think. Or maybe that's VNAV, thinking about it. A bit of a weird one. I'll go left.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
Parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Cool, start our engines then. Right, engine 2 into the ground position. Got our engine things down there. Got plenty of fuel loaded on board. Everything's all ready to go. Cool, everything's all working. Oh wow! Was the background music still playing all through that? Right, I press B to reset the altimeter, it's 1026, I believe. Unless it's changed last minute. I can't believe I had the background music on through all that. Sorry, guys. I think I had the background music through on every single part of that. Sorry. Oh dear. Right, introduce fuel and engine number 2. I was distracted there. Right, and get number 1 turned on as well. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake by me, that. Right, flaps 1, 2, and 5. Introduce fuel number 1. Nice UK 2000 scenery here. It's not quite as nice as the Heathrow scenery, but it's pretty nice. Engine starts good. I would like to buy the full scenery, but it would probably lag out the game way too much, honestly. Right, are the engines started fully? Pretty much. We'll just wait for it a little bit. Because one of the engines isn't fully on yet, and then I can go ahead and set it up. There you go. Both engines into continuous. Engine gens on, APU off. And that is it. We'll do a quick recall. All good. So look at our checklist then. Config, yeah. Recall is set. Flight controls are fine. Flaps is set. Stabilizer trim is set to 4.5. I know what I'm doing. Take off the start switches is set to continuous. MCP set. Transponder is on to TRA. Landing lights will follow with the retracts a bit later on. Ampacks can go back into the auto position as well. Cool, that is everything already then. Flaps 5 is set. We'll start our block time clock now.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Excellent. I don't think we have any other company around the place. There was a Virgin Atlantic, that's now taken off, so we have Manchester to ourselves. Fine. That means we're all good then to taxi. Have a good trip. So we'll taxi down. Then what's this? Now I think it's Lima. I can't see because my plane's actually over the letter. Head down Lima. Head down probably Bravo, which turns into Alpha, and to holding point Alpha 1. We'll go full length on runway 05 left. Excellent. Yeah, it's a nice flight there. So I can't wait to fly into Innsbruck. Can't believe I left the background music on. Rip. So that's Charlie there to the right. We want Bravo, we do. Which was this one then. Bravo just sort of turns into Alpha when Alpha joins it. And there's nothing else here, there's nothing else approaching or anything, so got the airport to ourselves. It should be a pretty nice flight down to Innsbruck, about an hour and 40 minutes I'm expecting, so not too bad for flight time. Oh, that last one was Bravo actually. Sadly there are no taxiway signs, this being the UK 2000 scenery. There is no, because it's the free version, there are some better quality free versions than the other ones. This is one of the lower quality free versions. And I'm not complaining because it's still better than the FSX scenery, so. Apart from the fact that you don't have any taxi signs. So we'll head back onto Bravo now. And we'll head all the way down here to runway, to the end of 05 left. It's weird on the chart, it doesn't like pick up that it does this weird small turn. It's a bit of an odd airport layout, I think, Manchester. You're taxiing along here. It looks quite nice outside. We're all good. Yeah, it's not too far to Innsbruck really. It's pretty good flight time really from where we are right now in Manchester, and then we'll be departing Innsbruck down to Ibiza in about, well, not next week, a week after that, because next week we're taking a bit of a break from this whole I fly into one airport then take off from another one in Europe and one in the US. We're taking a break from that with 2 flights in the Dash 8, and we're taking part in Stansted Tel Aviv City Link as well, which should be fun. I know honestly yesterday was great. That Montreal to Heathrow, that was good fun. Really enjoyed that. Right, we're taxiing out to the runway now. I didn't actually get the taxi light on, so whatever. Runway turn-off's on, running light on. Not that you really need taxi lights when it's this light and no one's around, so who knows, but whatever. The point is so people can see you, but there's no one to see us, and it's broad daylight, so I just like to fire it up just to be safe. But we didn't do that today anyway, so taxiing along here now. Looks nice out there. So this is Alpha 1 holding points up here. We'll go right onto the runway. No need to report anything on 80, no, on Unicom, as there is absolutely nothing heading for Manchester at all. So we're all good. So we're taxiing onto the runway now. Nothing over there, obviously. And we'll go ahead and line ourselves up here, at the beginning of the runway. We can take off from the display threshold, I'm pretty sure, so. Line ourselves up here, and 40% on the throttle. Start the clock, and toga. Airspeed is life. 80 knots.
V1.
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 Rotate.
V2.
There's V2. And we are in the air. And 400 feet, LMAV can be enabled. And gear up. Look at that, I love that look you get out when you take off, it looks so cool. Right, and pitch the plane down. Just a little bit. Go ahead and lock the gear in place, auto brake can be disarmed. They've got a slight left turn then on our departure now.
Speed levels on that pushing contains 5
Right, ease the plane down now, turn to the right. And it flaps up now. And let the autopilot take control from here. And we can go up to 250 knots. We need to be at 5,000 here until Bisto. We need to stay nice at, but it's a very short journey down to Bisto, about 18 miles this thing's average mileage track. There we go, we're up at 5,000, runway turn-offs can come off now. Oh yeah, and engine start switches. into the off position. There we go. We are now in the air, making our way up to Listo at 5,000, and then from Listo we can make our way all the way up. And then after Listo we'll be up to 5,000 feet. And then we can cruise all the way up to 37,000, which is what we plan for today. Got no weather alerts or anything like that in the area, so all good, clear, all nice. So yeah, we're just cruising along at 5,000. After Listo, we'll go ahead and start pushing the plane up. Yeah, there's Listo. It's going to 80 nautical mile range now as we are clear of the departure. And up we go. I'll go ahead and unpin all of the things from Navigraph for Manchester. This thing's going to do a pretty mad climb now initially, because it just does that. It likes going at an absolutely insane climb rate for the first sort of brief bit after getting clearance upwards. I don't know why it does that, it just does. And then we can speed up once we're above 10,000 feet then. So today we should have like mainly crosswinds, I think, because you know the ground distance versus air distance ends in a tailwind of about 10 miles, I think. Yeah, we had a tailwind of 12 miles ground distance versus air distance. So, not much, really, at all. Got no weather to contend with, unlike in Denver, that we had on Thursday. That was interesting, wasn't it? There we go. Cruising past 10,000. Off go all the lamping lights, and we can start speeding up as well. And obviously this thing's not quite as quick as the Boeing 787 we flew yesterday, but still pretty fast. It is nuts though, we're cruising at Mach 0.78 today. We were at 0.86 in that Boeing 787. Like, this thing is, the Boeing 787 is just so mad at how quick it is. It's insane. Because like, it's just like, it's crazy how much quicker that Boeing 787 is, but wow. Okay, we've climbed up correct speed, so this thing's going to start doing a proper climb up. We should actually be at cruise level by BPK, this thinks. I think we can do it a little bit earlier than that. Saying that, I think this thing will obviously level off on its climb a little bit later on, so makes sense. There we go, we're in the air though. No ATC obviously, unfortunately. Would have been lovely to have something, but not at the moment. There's currently one plane bound for Innsbruck that isn't us, from Frankfurt, but it hasn't taken off yet. And Frankfurt is just a 200-mile flight, so if it was to take off now, it would be there before us, but it might get quite tight later on. I don't know. Now, Simbrief did make me file the arrival I was using. Yeah, they've done that as well. So they're using the Tulsi 3 Alpha. So let's have a look at that. None of these head to Tulsi. But saying that, it is allowable for all runways. It's just a little bit odd what we're going to have to do to get correct sort of runways. But yeah, it should be okay. So we head into Elmem, and then from there you head to your approach, is how it works at Innsbruck. And at the moment we are planning the RNAV from Elmem in through the mountains. It sort of follows the mountains through, and we start out at Elmem at what altitude? Like doesn't say. There's a few speed restrictions we've got to be careful of. 175 knots there, yep, that's correct. 165 knots but there. It's a very slow approach. Obviously it kind of makes sense because we have to be quite manoeuvrable. I might have to take control of the plane myself. We'll see how it goes. It's quite a small airport, Innsbruck, to be landing into. But I have got some scenery. We've got 10 gates down there. Because the old scenery on FSX was a bit out of date, so decided to get some nice scenery for us. Free scenery, of course. Right. Seatbelt signs can come off now, passing 20,000 for everyone back there. We've got about 17,000 feet left to climb. The weather radar is on, and the TCAS is turned on as well. Oh, come on. I just looked at VPilot. Look, Manchester Ground just came online. Are you joking me? Ah. If I was like 10 minutes later, I'd have ATC. Ah. That's really annoying. Thank you. That is quite annoying. Oh, whatever. Well, there we go. We could have had ATC if I started the stream half hour later, but I don't do that, so bit of a shame. Never mind. I'll look at the forecast for Innsbruck to see what the weather's doing. The weather looks like it's actually going to head back towards the 08s in the next few hours. So that'll be interesting. Kind of nice. So it's looking like, yeah, a 08 approach is going to be very likely. No massive gap between waypoints. There's a 119-mile gap at some point. There's nothing massive. Yeah, pretty cool. Cruising up to 37,000 feet right now. It's quite annoying that Manchester just suddenly came online like that. Like, really? Really? But it's only ground. It's nothing massive, but it's a little bit. We could have had a little bit. it's looking like, yeah, we are going to be cruising my BPK this thing, so I actually think that's pretty much accurate now. How long have we got left to run? We've got an hour and 26, been in the air 13 minutes, so an hour and 39 estimated flight time. That's perfect considering we were estimated an hour and 40 in the air. It's about what I expected. It'd be nice to have some Euro control or something like that. We could potentially get, or anything over Germany. I don't really mind. It's just be nice to get some ATC today, but who knows. Have to just wait really and see what we end up with. Got 10,000 feet left to cruise altitude, not bad. Scottish Centre have just come online, 135525. That is northern Scotland, I believe, sadly, because there is two different Scottish controls. There's Manchester control that are called Scottish control, and then there's proper Scottish control. But it's the one over there. There must be an event at Edinburgh, I think. There's 5 planes on the ground at the moment, and they have ground and now centre online, so I'm thinking there's maybe an event within an airline maybe. It's not advertised on the Vatsim page, so it could be like, because sometimes you do have that like little events that are organised within groups of friends or within virtual airlines that I'm not part of, things like that. It's a shame. Fly UK has plenty of events, but they're all held on their own online server, which is an absolute pain to connect to, because you need to get TeamSpeak, and then you need to get, like, you need to install an old version of vPilot to actually connect to the server, and it's just a bit of a faff, so I'd rather not. But yeah, it's Scottish control. Oh, it's the same person that controlled us in Montreal, heading out of Montreal on London West Centre on our approach. I don't know why I said into Montreal. We have actually got ED Golf Centre online. I'm trying to look at where that is. I'm guessing it's Germany, but I don't see any centre with that name on here. EDGG. However, we are flying over Germany, are we? We might fly briefly over Germany, but not much. And in terms of Innsbruck, another plane has started from Frankfurt, spawned in, and the Lufthansa has taken off. But yeah, I'll have to see where EDGG Centre is and whether we'll get them later on. We might not. Request controller info. They're going to log off at 10:30 Zulu, covering EDDF, EDDS, EDFH, EDFB, EDBR. Okay, I know where that is then. They're covering the Frankfurt FIR, I think. So I might fly over Frankfurt radar. Am I planned to fly over Frankfurt radar today? Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, we are going to be flying over Frankfurt radar briefly. We're not going to get a lot of ATC off them, but we should get a little bit. Yeah, and that's what it is. Vatspy's got the terrain boundaries wrong. EDFFC doesn't exist anymore. So we enter their airspace at Peats, and we exit it at Utaba. So we're in it for about 20 minutes. So yeah, we will have some ATC hopefully then from them on 127.725 in about 50 minutes time. It says there estimated log off time 10:30 Zulu, so that's 2.5 hours from now. So providing they stick to that estimated log off time, we'll have some nice ATC. Excellent. That's cool. And Vatspy isn't picking up that they're online. I wonder if there's like an update for Vatspy. It's seriously like all of the sectors are out of date on there now, and it's really annoying because you can't see when people are online. It's a a shame. I mean, if I search like VAT map, is it VAT map one of them? There's loads of them. That's the problem. There's obviously loads of websites that do it. Are they reporting any control, or is it just a worldwide? Yeah, they don't control. They don't even show centre at all. Unfortunately, the problem is there's literally nothing. There's Vatastic. Is that the one that went down? Yeah, it is. There's a few of them out there, but a lot of them have gone down. There's this one that doesn't seem to show. What if I click? I can't show ATC at all. Whatever. It's all a bit. I think it's just luck. Honestly, if we get ATC and they tell us to contact them, good. But it doesn't. It seems like it's quite difficult to tell where they are. Never mind. But yeah, we should get them entering Pete, somewhere around there. We should enter them, and we leave around Otava, which is just as we're descending for Innsbruck. I don't think there's an event going on in Frankfurt, but they've got full ATC down there, which is absolutely amazing. Full ATC. Well, that's cool. We're almost at 35,000 feet as well. Excellent. And by BPK as well, so the plane's estimate was correct. So we're 20 minutes into the flight already, gone pretty quick. We're currently over St Albans, and then we'll be heading over London, so we should get to see London down there. By Lamb. Yeah, that's the Lambourne fix. That's quite close to Gatwick. But we're passing it, obviously, overhead, rather than as part of a arrival. Oh, we've got a plane on our TCAS. I think they're about a couple of thousand feet below us, but who are they? Let me update that spy. I think someone's just connected, honestly, because they weren't there before. Who knows? They're a bit of an odd altitude as well. They're like in the middle of an altitude. It could be there's a KLM heading to St Martin at 34,500 feet for some strange reason. But it could be that one. That's 3,500 feet below us. No, wait. 2,500 feet below us. Yeah, it's the KLM. It's a 747 heading to St Martin from Amsterdam. But for whatever reason, it's at 34,700 feet. Who knows why? It's a bit random, but whatever. There you go. This plane's going to start throttling down now. We've got the next hour pretty much at cruise, which is excellent. We should have some new weather through for Innsbruck. We do. It's still variable at 2 knots. Okay. Oh, rip. There's a Luxair there that's had a bird strike. Rip. You can get bird strikes in this game, I believe, in FSX. I've seen birds flying about, but I don't know what happens if you hit them. But there's our approach speed set. That's all we need to do. And then the only other thing we need to do is set our transition level. So transition level will be on the charts. It should be on here. Transition level set by ATC. Thank you. Nice and useful. What about the transition altitude rather than the level? Because that might help us a bit more. Yeah, it says by ATC, but there's no ATC online, so that's helpful, isn't it? If I have a look at the departure though, because the transition altitude is not done by ATC, 10,000. So we'll set 10,000 then, because with no ATC, there's no way I can tell basically. And we need to be minimum altitude on the RNAV approach is 13,000, so we need to be below that by WI 750. And then we've got quite a quite a strong descent then, quite a fast descent, but it's minimum altitude, not maximum. Wait, wrong altitude, I put that in for the wrong one. There. So we need to, yeah, we need to be... Right, I'm having a look now. So it says here... It doesn't really say anything, honestly. Is that at or above or at or below? It's at or above, I think, so... Cool. But and then we can be above. No, we can be below, because it says minimum altitude. But there. So I'm going to look now, yeah, it's all good. Right. Minimums, standard minimums, that is just standard. It's not Cat C or anything like that. It's just standard. It's 1,000 feet above the ground, 2,900. So, because Cat C says 2,400 meters, but it's not really very clear. And actually, I've looked at the thing now. We need to be at WI 750 at 130, and then we start descending from there. Because I'm looking at the glide sort of path now. Come on. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tricky approach. Obviously, it's Innsbruck. It's why we're flying there. I've never flown into Innsbruck, believe it or not. So finally, I'm flying there. It's taking my time. Oh, there we go. Right, 2,900 on the barrow is set. Right, so yeah, 13,000. Flight level 130. And that should set. And then we need to do just a standard, sort of quite a nice approach then into Innsbruck. It's a little bit. Let's show you guys. It's a little bit of a odd arrival, obviously being Innsbruck. So we're coming from Elmem. Obviously we're not descending for a bit yet. There is a weird descent path error, and then we have to sort of start descending. It is going to be a bit tricky in terms of we have to slow down quite a bit while still being, it's quite, we have to maintain quite a strong descent rate, really. Like this through the mountains, because it's full of mountains, so we need to follow where there's no mountains after WI 750. I will definitely be following this chart, that's for certain. Says refer to airport briefing 101 Papa. Let's do that then. Let's have a look at the, here you go, 101 Papa. Runway operations. It's not really saying much actually. There's not really anything I need to look at. Yeah, nothing really interesting. It's quite important that we follow correct kind of procedures there. I mean, as long as the weather doesn't change to a 2-6 arrival, we should be okay. The weather forecast is saying we're roughly going to have quite calm wind, and then it'll progress to 100 wind, a bit stronger in the next sort of 4 hours. So weather forecast is showing all good, basically. We should get some ATC at Pitt, but not for a little bit yet. That's still about half hour, 20 minutes, so we'll have to wait for that. Yeah, and oh come on, Manchester now has a tower and ground online. I was a bit too late really, wasn't I? A bit too early, I mean. Oh well. Normally the early bird catches the worm. In Vatsim it's the other way around. The late bird catches the worm. The worm being ATC. It's unbelievable. There you go, the wrong... That's how you get the wrong... I don't know, that's how sayings change, I guess. Like that. But there we go. That seems a bit different, I guess, maybe. It's quite a nice day down there, actually. We're currently over... currently over Canterbury. Southern... very south of England. Pretty nice. And then we'll be heading over into Belgium, over Luxembourg, before getting ATC, hopefully, if they stay online until 10:30 Zulu, that is. Just the heading round, actually. I haven't done that for a bit. Quite a few waypoints on today's route. It was like an 8-page route, despite the fact that the Montreal route was only about 7 pages, and this route is like way shorter. Kind of crazy. Although the average distance between waypoints is a lot smaller. Got a little bit of headwind right now, a little bit of tailwind, I mean. But yeah, we're a lot slower than the Boeing. I mean, the Boeing 787 in, its true airspeed was around 490 knots, 500 knots. This thing's true airspeed's about 450, so it's around about 40 to 50 knots slower than the 787, which is quite a lot. It's probably why the 787 always cruises so high, to avoid everything else. It's going slower, probably. And I'm at an equivalent cost index, 26 versus 250. 26 is 260 in Boeing 787 terms. So almost equal, really. If anything, it is slightly in favour of the other one. But yeah, this plane is just a bit slower. You can see, look, we are quite close to the max speed of this thing. It doesn't go much quicker. Well, loads of new things are loading in on the. Oh, I'm in range of Frankfurt. That's why. Yeah, my ATC list is just going nuts because we're now in range of Amsterdam, which has loads of ATC, and Frankfurt, which has loads of ATC. So it's just gone a bit crazy. All we care about is the centre right now. Centre ATC. Right, the runway at Innsbruck, let's have a look. Oh wow, it's only 6,500 feet. So, it's very short. So I recommend maybe auto brakes 3. I think we'll be okay with auto brakes 2 as long as we land early. But yeah, it is a fairly short runway. What was it? Manchester was a lot more, wasn't it? Manchester had a lot longer runway, so... I think auto brakes 2 should be okay because we'll use full. We're going to use full processing. We're going to use full reverses, so it should be okay. Got to watch the speed. Obviously, it's quite important because of this sort of speed restriction. We have to be at 175 knots, quite far out of Innsbruck, which is a little bit unusual. Go around now, choose 9,500, okay. Everything's all good up there. Recall is fine. Yeah, after the Kilo Oscar Kilo VOR, it's got quite a long gap between waypoints, and then we head to where the ATC will start, hopefully. I mean, they're not going to go offline for another 2 hours and 10 minutes apparently, so that'll be quite nice. There's a plane in Austria's just spawned, heading to Innsbruck. It's a dash, no, it's an A320, I thought it'd be a dash 8. Okay, we might be a bit more busy then, in Innsbruck. By the time we get there, who knows. Yeah, I'm so glad I solved the problem I was having with GSX. I did try it out. It worked with Oslo. I didn't try it with any others, but it was, you know, because I discovered the problem also occurred to Dubai. So Dubai, Montreal, and Oslo all had the same problem, and all of them had files bigger than 1.2 meg. They were files more like 3 meg, all 3 of them. They were quite big files. But the reason they said 8 meg is because that's generally the biggest they go. But again, you can turn it up as much as you want to suit your needs, really. But it's in bytes, keep that in mind. I will definitely make a tutorial video on it at some point, whether that be today or next week now, I'm not sure, but I will definitely try to make a video on it because it's so helpful and it fixes an issue that I wasn't even really aware of, but it's a really silly thing. Like the fact that GSX only allows airport files 1.2 meg or smaller by default is just straight up silly. Like, I don't know why that's a thing, you know. It hasn't affected GSX changing it. It allowed me to run the config file, and I let it run, and it was fine, and it all runs okay. So it's a bit of a random one, really. But who knows, really? It'd be nice if we can get some ATC, obviously, always good if we get it. We've got 1 hour until we get there, actually. 1 hour and 3 minutes, not bad. Our simulator time versus real world time seems to be pretty accurate, which is nice. It seems to be pretty good. It's 9:23. I'll see when it clicks over to 8:23 in the sim, but by the looks of it, yeah, that means I can trust it. In case we get asked to get given an ETA of some kind. Yeah, we should be descending in about 40 minutes time, so not too bad. 40 minutes is not too bad at all. I've got them pre-tuned. There's no little radio thing we can bring up, unfortunately. There is a mic button, but it doesn't do anything, unfortunately. Is there a radio panel we can bring up, like with anything? So, I'm guessing there is. Oh, there you go, shift 4, but it's massive. Anyway, it's not just a little thing, because this thing does actually have a full 2D cockpit, which is why you're able to do this, but yeah, that's a massive panel, so it's not worth it. May as well go down here and do it myself. We're just heading around once we finish turning. So 117 miles now to our next waypoint. We have got about 15 minutes just sort of sitting here. We're meant to get ATC, I think it was 59 minutes into the flight is where we hit that waypoint. Yeah, 59 minutes. So about 22 minutes until we get ATC, roughly. Not bad. But yeah, not bad. I've got a little bit to go into ATC now. Hopefully that is. I'm still in range of Manchester Tower and Ground, making fun of me, clearly. But that's... Oh, delivery's online now as well. Seriously, they've got full ATC now online in Gatwick. No, not Gatwick, Manchester. Oh, it's so annoying. Yeah, we were just a little bit too early, I think. It all kicks off at 8 o'clock Zulu, and my streams start at 7:30 Zulu, so it's just before all the ATC kicks off, which is a shame. I'm a little bit early, I guess. Where are we over right now? It looks like Amsterdam. Nope, it's Belgium. Currently over fairly close to Bruges. Not bad. We'll be heading over Charleroi soon, which is where Brussels is. Well, that's where the airport for Brussels is. One of the main airports, Brussels, Charleroi. That's the main one, isn't it? I don't know what the main one is. Brussels National, that says. EBBR, which is the main one. So I don't know whether it's called that then. The plane from Vienna hasn't actually departed yet. So at the moment, the plane from Frankfurt's just about to touch down. So unless the plane from Vienna gets off anytime soon, we'll be having Innsbruck to ourselves. That would be kind of nice for a first time Innsbruck approach. But have to wait and see what we end up with. Heathrow Approach just came online. That's interesting. Fairly busy on the Vatsim network. It's all picking up out now. That's not quite though. Typically we'll have about 800 connections at this time of day. In the past few weeks, it's 620. So it seems as if people on Vatsim this week are going back to normal, unfortunately. But that's how it is, I guess, isn't it? What can you do? That's just how it is. Sadly. Looking around on the Vatsim map, it's actually quite busy about the place. Today it's pretty much normal, really. I'd say normal amounts of busyness around Europe. It's the rest of the world that gets quite quiet, I think, on Vatsim. Europe's always like the main bit for flight simming, and then I think America does get quite busy, but only later in the day. Although right now, oh come on, really, Los Angeles Center is online. And Los Angeles Approach. Are you kidding me? I'm positive Vatsim just like... In America, I get so unlucky with the ATC. Like, I was flying around that area just 2 weeks ago, and I never got ATC, and here they are online. Like, what? I never get ATC in America. What's going on? Drives me a bit nuts, that does. Like, why does that even happen? Seriously? Be a bit annoying, really, I think. It's quite a nice day out there. We are using the old Fly UK livery, the Fly Union Spirit, rather than the Crystal, which is the new one. Got a few clouds over there. They're not at cruise level, are they? They're pretty high up. Nothing on the weather radar, though. I mean, the weather radar on this plane actually works. Unlike the one on the 787, which I've never seen fire into life ever. Despite the fact that it's turned on. Right, we might have had some new weather for Innsbruck. We have. It is variable at 1 knot now. QNH down there is 1020, 14 degrees. Clouds a few at 3,500. So we might have a few clouds to contend with on approach. Maybe not, I don't know. Be nice to get the clouds out of the way, really, just not have any to focus on our approach, because as you've seen, it is quite a compact approach. It's all the waypoints are very close together. After we hit Elmem, that's the start of our proper approach, and then we've got sort of threading it through the Alps, basically. We're definitely going to need our terrain radar for that. We're definitely going to have that turned on, that's for certain. Have to do that. But yeah, this thing doesn't chew up miles quite like the 787, but it's pretty quick all the same. Felt a bit of rocking around then. Are we getting turbulence? It's nice that Heathrow approaches online. Heathrow's a great airport to fly into. Like, I've realised that on Vatsim. I can see why everyone goes there. It's quite an organised airport. They've got some good ATC and it's very busy, like all the time. So it's quite nice. Yeah, it just feels like forever. These sort of numbers counting down to the next waypoint. It takes forever. Looks quite nice out there. We have got a few. These clouds are quite high up, really. I'll have a look on Active Sky, see if we've got any weather warnings for the area in terms of turbulence or anything. Any reports from other airplanes? No, not too bad. Not too cloudy anywhere either. We should get a new weather report through on Innsbruck in probably about 40 minutes now, actually. Maybe close to 35 minutes, probably. Could be in half hour. It is coming through pretty quickly. It updates every half hour, 20 past 10 to, and there's like a 5 to 10 minute delay. There's not that much of a delay though. Some airports have a massive delay on getting the weather into Active Sky. Others it's pretty much instant. Right, the plane to Vienna, from Vienna to Innsbruck hasn't actually left Vienna yet, and I've only got 340 miles left to go. And it's got a 220 mile direct hop. So, it might be quite close if it suddenly takes off now. I think we are going mostly direct to Innsbruck looking at this. 338, 351. So it's only, what, plus, like, 13 miles or something? It's not a massive amount. We've flown 327 miles now, so we're almost halfway.
Beautiful, Lima Stylus,
Using I think I do prefer text Unicom, honestly, like, because you have to listen out for it, and then once it's gone, but with the text 80s, once you like send it, you can just hear it. We might have some ATC now. Give it, well, 10 minutes, hopefully. We're overhead Brussels right now. Yeah, and we are passing. Okay, Brussels-Charleroi must be the secondary airport then, because we're not passing overhead Brussels EBBR, that is the main one. Which is Brussels National. Yeah, some strange clouds up here at Cruise. Like, they're quite high up clouds. They just sort of... They came out of nowhere, look. Clear over there, and then just boom. cloud. Like, what? Where did that come from? Came from somewhere. Next waypoint, Komob, in about 26 miles. Then we're heading to Delta India Kilo. I don't know what it is with the kind of funny VOR names around here, never mind. It stands for D-Kirsch. D-Kirsch. It's in Luxembourg, that's what it stands for. Interesting. The plane from Vienna hasn't yet taken off out of Vienna, so looking good. The plane from Frankfurt has basically just about touched down now, and it appears that it's using runway 26. I don't know why that is. That must have been what it planned. What did I plan? I planned 08, I believe. Yep, Simbrief planned 08 for me. And the wind, which is variable, from 000 to 360, so that is dead north, is more in favour of a 08. So that's kind of odd. Unless there's something I'm missing about Innsbruck, that you should take a different runway. Let's look at the airport briefing quickly, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. So airport briefing arrival. ONAV. That's about ONAV sort of approach for 08. It doesn't really mention anything about preferred runways. So there's nothing about preferred runways. Runway operations doesn't really say. There's more. I think about... No, there's nothing here about preferred runways use. So we'll go off the wind, I think. We should go off. And the wind and Simbrief is saying 08. Navigraph might tell me. If I go on to the briefing, oh, I'll need to make a flight plan first. So EGCC to LOWI. I'll get it to do everything else itself. And I'll take the cruise altitude and it should just make a route for me. It won't be the right route, but I'll be able to see the arrival, more importantly, is what I want to know. It should say somewhere. Okay, it doesn't say that. It normally tells you what the preferred landing runway is, but it only does it for some airports, I guess. Yeah, there's no preferred landing runway given to me from Active Sky. So, I'll delete the flight plan then. Oh well, that's nothing then. Okay. We might get some new weather through in about 20 minutes. The next 20 to 25 minutes we'll get some new weather. That'll be the weather we probably use into Innsbruck. Oh, there's the contact me a little bit early. 12772. Hello, Skyways 846 with you at flight level 370.
Skyways 846 Landrad, hallo, Squawk 2070.
Set Squawk 2070 for Skyways 846. 2070, so 2070. There we go.
Oh, it's 2618, ready for departure on the
Oh, sorry. Wings 2618, wind 070 degrees 6 knots, runway 07, cleared for takeoff.
07 for takeoff, oh, 2618.
London Radar good day, runway 1 Togo Quebec inbound, Peters flight level 350.
Ryanair 1 Tango Quebec lang gerade, hallo, Squawk 2071.
Squawk 2071, Runner 1 Tango Quebec.
Skyways 846, identified flight level 370, proceed direct Utaba.
Proceed direct Ultaba for Skyways 846. Excellent. We've been given direct to Otaba, which is the end.
Ryanair 1 Tango Quebec, identified
There we
flight
go.
level 350, proceed direct Delta Romeo November.
Direct to Delta Romeo November, Runner 1 Tango Quebec, thank you.
So we've been given direct to the end of a sector, which didn't really take much time because we're basically going direct through it anyway. But yeah, it's okay. Nice to get a little direct every now and then. Doesn't really save much. That's going to mainly be about descent path again because why not? We are actually descending just before Otaba, so we'll need to request descent. But yeah, nice to have some ATC today. Contacted us a little bit early as well, so that's nice. Must be covering Luxembourg as well, maybe. Doesn't say they are, but it doesn't matter. There's no other ATC online, I guess, so that's what I mean by they often do contact early. I think it is quite quiet on frequency because
Wings
most
2618,
of
identified
most of this
2,400 feet.
is taken up
Continue
by
climb, flight level
Frankfurt. Like that's all the planes in Germany, but they're all under
370.
Frankfurt control, a lot of them. So
Winds
we're fine.
2618, climb flight level 370.
We have got a plane just ahead of us, 2,000 feet below us. It looks like a
Firebird 90500 lang, 0 lang radar.
okay. It's a Ryanair, I think, heading to Wrocław in Poland.
Firebird 90500, identified flight level 370, proceed direct Kirax, when ready descend to reach flight level 110 at Kirax.
By Kirax and flight level 0 by Kirax, Firebirds 9500.
And Firebird 90500 cleared Kirax 07 November transition.
Kirax 07 November transition for Firebird 9500.
It's nice to just proceeding direct like this for about 165 miles, 20 minutes. We're going to be descending just before Otaba, literally almost under 20 miles from it. The plane from Vienna hasn't yet left, so I mean, and I'm closing up on 200 miles direct to Innsbruck. Another plane has spawned in Frankfurt going there as well, but we're passing Frankfurt. And same sort of thing with Vienna, so it's looking like we might have Innsbruck mostly to ourselves by the time we get down there. I think the Lufthansa might be doing the circle to land. It's actually, I thought it was approaching 26, but it seems to have passed Innsbruck. I don't know, it still hasn't landed. Maybe it had to do a missed approach. I don't know. But whatever it's doing, yeah, it's a bit odd, so maybe a bit different, I don't know. I wonder what that plane is then that's sort of following us along, because it could be the plane to Wrocław, but it doesn't really make sense. Well, it has to be actually. Maybe it must be a plane in the area, but it seems to be following roughly the same course as us. If it was going to Poland, it would be going that way. It's going from Paris to Poland. Looks quite nice down there. Oh, there you go. The plane from Vienna has just left Innsbruck now. Oh, that makes my job nice and easy, doesn't it? It's 220 miles from Innsbruck, and it's just got in the air. I'm 240 miles from Innsbruck, but it has to climb first, so obviously it'll be slow, so that might be quite tight. About who gets there first. Okay. So I'm using 08. I'll have to maybe contact the Austrian plane if it does turn out to be quite close. I don't think I'll be in range of it right now, because Vienna's quite far away from where I am currently, because Vienna's on the other side of Austria to Innsbruck. But it's a fairly quiet ATC frequency, as I said. A lot of the main ATC over Germany is getting ATC from the Frankfurt centres, because Frankfurt has ground, tower and approach, has full ATC online. So that's calming it down a bit. Not bad. I'm not doing bad on this flight. 240 miles to go. We should get a new weather report from Innsbruck in about 10 minutes. And that'll be, as I said, probably the one we use to land. There will be another Innsbruck report issued just as we're landing.
Langen radar, good morning Turkish.
Well, I probably won't use that one.
Charlie flight level 380.
Turkish 1 Zulu Charlie, lang radar, hello, identified, proceed direct, Betty.
Direct to Betty from present position, thank you, Turkish 1 Zulu Charlie.
Langen radar, good morning, this is Gulf Air 16 with you, flight level 400 bound Frankfurt.
Gulf Air 16, lang radar, hello, squawk 2075.
There's a Gulf Air here and it's got
2075 in the box for Gulf Air 16.
It's got totally
Langen radar, good morning,
the
Austrian
wrong,
61 November, Quebec, passing flight
thing,
level
the
78,
wrong flight
climbing
plan
flight level
files.
110.
Austin 61 November Quebec, lang radar, hello, identified, climb flight level 290.
Flight level 290, Austrian 61 November, Quebec.
Gulf Air 16, identified, flight level 400.
And Gulf Air 16 approaching retrieve descent, top of descent.
Gulf Air 16, what's the destination?
Frankfurt.
Because in your flight plan I have JFK. Maybe you can, first of all descend flight level 250 and maybe you can resend your flight plan.
Descent 250 and they will check the flight plan, Gulf Air 16. Sorry for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, they have Heathrow to JFK in their flight plan, not Frankfurt, so obviously something's got a bit odd there. It's a nice livery this, I quite like it. Yeah, we're looking at descending now in just 13 minutes right now. Hopefully we'll have some new weather for Innsbruck before we start the descent. Weather for Innsbruck is looking like it's going to maintain runway 08. That Lufthansa finally landed, and there's one plane departing Innsbruck now as well. Innsbruck, it's so busy on flights, so it's just nuts. Like, it's actually always really popular, even though no one is really flying. There's no ATC at all. Currently, it's looking like I'm going to be in Innsbruck around 9 minutes earlier than the plane from Vienna, so that's kind of nice. But obviously, I doubt it's up to speed yet. Because it's just an A320. So it's past 10,000 feet, so it's going to start ramping up the speed now, I think. But at the moment it's only at a ground speed of 333, which is going to vastly improve. But now it's only 6 minutes.
Lego Radar Gulf Air
So they'll get
16
quite
with you
close.
again. Flight plan is being resended. Corrected one.
Gulf Air 16, great, better now. Identified again level 380, squawk now 2076.
.2076 at the box Gulf Air 16.
Gulf Air 16, yeah, identified level 370. Proceed direct Spisa, descend flight level 110 to reach at Spisa.
Say again the level for Gulf Air 16.
Gulf Air 16, proceed direct Spesa, Sierra Papa Echo Sierra Alpha, and level 110 at Spesa.
Proceed direct space be level 110 at space at Gulf Air 16.
Oh,
And Gulf Air 16, cleared Spesa.
I accidentally clicked that. I was like, what? Why has that gone black? There we go. I did that by accident. There we go. That was kind of silly, isn't it? So yeah, it's only in about 10 minutes. Right, this is where I'd like to have
Aztec
weather.
017
Not
Langradar,
yet.
guten Morgen, squawk 2074.
2074, Aztec 07.
Gulf Air 16 confirm, cleared Spesa 07 Sierra transition.
Clear to space 07 south you mean for Gulf Air 16.
Aztec 017 identified, flight level 360.
Aztec 017, if possible, request climbing to 380.
Aztec 017, climb flight level 380.
380, Aztec 017.
Langradar Lufthansa 5 Romeo Lima with high speed, flight level 67 with climb level 130.
Lufthansa 5 Romeo Lima Langradar, hello, identified, climb flight level 180.
Continue climb to flight level 180, Lufthansa 5 Romeo Lima.
Lego Radar Gulf Air 16.
Gulf Air 16, pass your message.
The vessel for Gulf Air 16 is Spisa 07 Sierra. Gulf Air.
Exactly, Spesa 07 Sierra.
Spisa 07 Sierra for Lufthansa. Sorry, correction for Gulf Air 16.
London Centre just came back online, like
Romeo Lima,
full London Centre.
proceed direct Domux.
Proceed direct Domux, Lufthansa 5 Romeo Lima.
I can see our total descent on our map now. Means we'll be
Eurowings
descending soon.
2618, monitor Unicom 122.18 bei.
2618 Unicom 122.18, danke sehr, ciao, Samstag.
Right, okay, that plane from Vienna is now 2 minutes behind us. 1 minute behind us now. Great, so that might be quite close. I'll have to get in contact with them once I get back onto Unicom. See what we're doing.
250.
Ryanair 472 Langradar, hallo, squawk 2077.
Squawk 2077, Ryanair 472.
Firebird 9500, contact Langradar 120.8.
That's right, flying from Vietnam.
Everyone sounds quite quiet today. I've noticed that. Don't know why. It's quite nice out here. It's a bit cloudy. Terrain's alright, isn't it? Little river. Things, I don't know, it's going to get a lot more mountainous by the time we reach Innsbruck. I love this livery, honestly.
Ryanair 472, request runway to expect at
I forget I'm flying this livery, it's really
I don't
nice.
know, Ryanair 472. But cleared Unoko 07 November transition. Unoko 07 November transition of the runway with the decision of approach.
Okay, thank you for that. Cleared Unoko 07 November transition, Ryanair forward 72.
We've got 66 miles to go to Ataba. Just before that, that's where we actually run out of ATC as well. Straight after that, I'm going to have to contact that Austrian plane about what its plans are for Innsbruck. Because I want to know what runways it's using. Because if it's using, you know, basically if it's using 26, because I mean I know it shouldn't. I mean, in my opinion, you know, really looking at the wind, 08 is the better runway. Obviously that's what I got planned, but it's using something else. I'll have to try and work around that because of how confusing Innsbruck is there. Because I mean, the arrivals I'm on, the 08 looks it's a lot better of an arrival. I'll have to do probably a circle to land. I'm having a look now. If I was to do the RNAV runway 26, I would have to do. Oh, hey, go. I'd head to RTT maybe. And then do the RNAV is probably what I'd do. But it's a little bit like, I mean, I could also do a visual approach circle to land. Possibly. That's probably what I would do, maybe, do the circle to land. But I'd much rather do just a nice simple RNAV runway 26. There we go, that's what I get for flying to Innsbruck. I'm glad I'm doing it, it's fun.
Ryanair 472, sorry, say again?
We have information Echo, Ryanair 472.
Roger, yeah, Echo correct. Ryanair 472, proceed direct Ramop.
Also, I'm just looking now, by the looks of where where the Austrian's final waypoint is, it would make sense for them to take 26. It's because of how Innsbruck Airport is. Basically, if you come from the east, if you come from the west, you have to use 08 arrivals and then circle. If you're coming from the east, you have to use 26 arrivals. Or again, circle to land. It's a little bit of a odd airport in that way. It makes it a bit faffy. The only way you could do it is obviously because basically go direct to Almen for 08 or go direct to Rattenberg, Romeo Tango Tango for 26. That's probably what I'd do. Is head direct to Romeo Tango Tango. It doesn't really say.
Austrian 61 November Quebec, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye.
Over to Unicom 122.8, Austrian 61 November Quebec. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Or I could obviously do a circle to land as well. But that's again a bit more difficult than doing a circle to land. So we'll have to see. That's why I get for selecting Innsbruck as an airport, I guess, isn't it? To fly to. It's all part of the fun though. Just have to get in contact with the Austrian about what they're doing. The problem is the winds are variable as well, so really you can use either. We haven't had any updated weather either. I'll check the METAR because I want to get the wind before descent, really, preferably. Variable at 2 knots now. A few clouds at 4,000. Scattered 8,000. QNH 1019. Okay, and it's 15 degrees down there, but it's still variable, so it's a little bit, who knows, kind of a thing. About 20 miles out. I'll try chatting with it now, while I'm on, because I think I can still do private chat, so I'll try doing that now. I can, cool, and it's in range. I'll just check it's the right one. Yep. ETA is 0925 Zulu.
Lang Hallo Lufthansa 8 Yankee. We are currently passing 125 and inbound.
Right, I need to
Sierra
set
Papa
auto
India.
brakes for landing here.
Yankee Langrad, hallo.
And get ready for
Squawk
descent.
101.
Squawk 2101 Lufthansa 8 Yankee.
Hello, Skyways 846, request descent.
Skyways 846 descend, flight level 310.
Descend flight level 310 for Skyways 846. Right, down to 31,000 then, we'll start descending at about 5 miles now really, yep. We'll see if we can hear back from the Austrian. I'd like it if we can, because it'd be very helpful. I have the latest weather on board now.
Gulf Air 16. For the next time, you should be at flight level 110 at Spacer. But yeah, no problem for now. Contact Langradar 120.8, bye.
120.8, thanks for that, Gulf Air 16.
Doing the localizer 26, circle to land, approach runway 8, okay. Yeah, so basically it's going to arrive, it's going to use the 26 arrival and then circle to land on 08.
Ryanair 1 Tango Quebec, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye.
Unico 122.8 under 1, correction Ryanair 1 Tango Quebec, thank you, bye bye.
Lufthansa 8 Yankee, identified flight level 180, continue climb, flight level 290, cleared Unoco 07 November transition.
Cleared Unoco 07 November transition and climbing 290 Lufthansa 8 Yankee.
So yeah, basically that's how it's working. I'll be handing off now to Unicom very shortly. So the Austrian is doing a localizer runway 26. It's going to head into the localizer, and then just before it finishes its localizer approach, it's going to go ahead and do the circle to land on 08. Its ETA is currently 9:28 Zulu, so 3 minutes after me. So it might be pretty close. I'll have to watch that. Currently, yeah, I haven't been handed off to Unicom. I have only been cleared down to flight level 310 right now. Haven't been cleared down any further, so I'll have to see about that. Yeah, it's very interesting. Hopefully the fact that we're 3 minutes apart isn't much of a problem, but... Because obviously the circle to land is always a bit unpredictable as well if you're doing it.
Lufthansa 8 Yankee, proceed direct Unoco.
Why did this thing suddenly go to QNH 1025? Just randomly, right. That was pretty random, wasn't it? Right, passing a Taba, so I'll probably get handed off onto Unicom quite soon.
Ryanair 472, report Mach number.
Mach 0.76, Ryanair 472.
Alright, hello, Ryanair 472, descend now, flight level 250, maintain Mach 0.78 until reaching flight level 290.
Descend flight level 270, maintain Mach 0.78 until flight level 290, Ryanair 472.
Request further descent for Skyways 846.
Skyways 846, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye.
Over to Unicom 122.8, bye-bye. Thank you for Skyways 846. Right, okay, on to Unicom then. Cool. I can get this right down to 13,000 now. Right, LOWI traffic descending. Right, leave that on there. We've got a look. Why is this thing slowing down to 205 knots? Plane. What's going on? Why is our speed brake? Seriously, plane. Right, speed intervention. Right, I don't know what's happened here, but our plane, for some strange reason, has decided to suddenly stop working. What did I do? I didn't do anything, did I? It's just suddenly stopped descending and suddenly just given up. Hello? Did I do something? I don't think I did anything. There we go. I'll take the autopilot out like that and then put it back in. I mean, I don't know what it's doing. Like, VNAV back in, please. Thank you, plane. Here we go, just turn VNAV off and on again, and that has fixed the issue. Okay. Our VNAV decided to just randomly brake, guys. Randomly just put down the speed and wouldn't descend, so that's quite funny, but there we go, that's how it is. Put up the speed brakes to allow us to do a bit of stronger descent. We are slightly off course now. Thank you, plane, VNAV, randomly braking like that. But now we're on quite a steep descent, and that's helping us, but yeah. Who knows what's happening there. I think we're catching back up with it now. It's struggling to stay with it. I think it's quite a steep descent, possibly, I don't know. What would happen there? I mean, we reached 310 and then... It could be like it is in the in some of the other planes though, where you need to like, maybe because I caught up on 310 because I actually hit it, maybe that's what happened. It sort of didn't pick up anything further than 310. I had to like disable it and then enable it again to pick up. Who knows? There's another plane quite close to me. It's climbing though. I think it's a plane heading to Stockholm. Call sign is Tango Alpha Yankee, TAY. And then 8782 or something, I think. Can't really get a view of it, but yeah, 8782. So I don't know what that is. TAY. What airline's that? Doesn't matter. It's climbing and I'm descending, so not really near each other at all. It's fine. Right, the weather radar is on, but I'm going to go ahead and switch to the terrain radar now, because I would like to know exactly where I am. Speed brakes are still out to help us get down to 130, which is currently successfully happening. Okay, we're catching up with our VNAV path pretty much fine, really. We're currently at flight level 240. This thing will tell me there is an unachievable descent path. It is a very steep descent path, but I don't think it's unachievable. I've caught back up with it now, finally. Okay, so we're descending through flight level 230 right now. I'll get the chart for the RNAV soon. Honestly, I couldn't have flown here without navigraph charts. I'll be honest, I wouldn't have had any clue. You need charts to do this. Arrival, really. Some airports you can get away without just following the FMC. I want to fly here more now, honestly. So our only aim with Innsbruck is quite simple. Do not crash into the mountain. Obviously that's, you know, it's quite possible. I've seen other flight simmers do it on streams. It does look a bit comedic when they do it. Obviously it's in a game, so it's okay. But yeah, don't do that. That's kind of the idea I'm getting. Right, down to 20 knots. The only time I've ever flown to Innsbruck was VFR. I did like a circle to land kind of thing, but obviously it's very casual because it was VFR flying. So we just sort of played it as it is. There is currently a plane on the ground heading to La Palma, Tenerife area. Las Palmas. What on earth? It's a 787. Are they mad? Okay. A 787 out of Innsbruck, sure. We'll just ignore that the runway's only 6,600 feet. That doesn't sound safe. I think the largest you can fit into Innsbruck is a 757, honestly. I don't think you can fit much bigger than that. We're using water brakes 2 for now. But there we go, that's interesting. To say the least. But we are staying quite slowly now because we've caught back up with our path quite well. Obviously I can't see how the weather is, as I have got the terrain radar turned on. The terrain radar is more important than the weather radar right now. Shame you can't have both really, but never mind. Yeah, weather radar absolutely nothing, so I'll flick it back to the terrain radar. Then it starts scanning the terrain. At the moment the terrain isn't much of a problem for us. We're passing 18,000 feet, might as well get the seatbelt times on now before we start turning all over the place, because we're about to start our arrival pretty soon. And we've got to decelerate after Sevix, which is where our star starts, and then our proper approach starts at Almem. We're still 54 miles away though, so we've got a little bit to go yet. Altitude of Innsbruck is about, let's have a look, it is an altitude of 1,900 feet, so I should have done that before. But I didn't do that, so set landing altitude now, that'll help the plane pressurise itself correctly. I should have done that at cruise really. I'm going to be monitoring our ETA. ETA in Innsbruck is still 9:25, but we'll have to keep monitoring it for that, for the Austrian. It's currently at 17,000 feet, so it is approaching from the same kind of place that we are, at the same altitude, so, but obviously it's coming in from the east, so it's having to do a circle to land onto 08 for us. We got lucky today. We could have had to circle to land onto 26, but we got lucky. We're passing 16,000, lots of clouds everywhere, and terrain, mountains, which is why we've got to be above flight level 130 until we're finished with this. I'll get the RNAV chart up now. But I won't be able to see myself on the RNAV until a bit later, so actually let's use the star chart right now. Because yeah, we can't be, there you go, the terrain meets a maximum of 11,900 feet. And briefly 13,200 in parts, but that's a bit further on. The bit where we're hitting is 11,900, I think. We'll have to watch it though. Right, I can set the terrain a bit lower now. I can set it down to, well, let's set 10,000 for now. Go around altitude, remember there was a missed approach altitude that was 9,500 apparently, yeah. That's our go-around altitude, 9,500, quite a high go-around altitude here, I mean, kind of obvious really. And you head to Rattenberg and hold there, as you can see there. Right, I need to start slowing down here. This plane wants to start slowing us down early, which I am all for. In fact, let's get a few flaps in place. Maybe we're a bit too quick. In fact, no, I think we're okay now. We're slowing down enough that by the time the flaps are out, we're okay. Because I want to slow down. We need to be at 175 knots, look. Really. I want to get slowed down pretty early. Because the WI 751, we have got to go proper slowly. So I don't mind descending, slowing a bit early. We're only 35 miles out. Our ETA is obviously falling all the time because we keep slowing. Right, this is where I'm going to have to take vertical speed into hand. Because I don't trust this plane. We'll set this down to 2000, which is our landing altitude. And then get a little bit of vertical speed on. Because otherwise this thing is not going to follow anything really, is it? That plane's lining up runway 08 at LOWI. And I'll have to just try and follow the descent path myself. There was nothing to program into the descent, no there wasn't. Landing speed is now 134 knots, which is not too bad. Just making sure right now I can slow down enough, so we need to be at 175 knots. At the next waypoint. Right, let's get VNAV back in now. Because I think the VNAV can take back control of us a bit better. We'll go ahead and unlock the gear. No rip. No, we can keep the gear locked. Never mind. And we are slowing down. I'm going to need to keep the gear out fully, I think, here. I'm going to need to watch that Austrian, but at the moment I think it'll be okay because we're 26 miles out. I'll have to keep an eye on it for my TCAS. It's very cloudy as well, which is really not helping my view. We've got a few at 4,000 and scattered at 8,000 apparently. However, that's not really following that pattern, so who knows what. This thing seems to be sticking to our sort of descent okay. We just need to be a bit slower really, that's the only problem we've got. Right, let's give it flaps 5, that'll help us, I think. Help us slow down just a touch more, hopefully. Down to 175 knots, it's not really. It's slowing us down a bit, but really not enough. I'll get the landing lights out now, 10,000. Whoa, it's thick cloud as well. But it's starting to clear and we can see the bit of, the little bit of area that we're following. That 787 is now departing, that's okay, I don't mind that. ETA is of course about 9:27 still, yeah, because we are sticking to our speeds now properly. Passing 10,000 feet. And basically we are just following the terrain through. Apparently our plane is outside the chart bounds, but I wouldn't say it is really. Oh well. So I can't see myself on the chart. There's standard. Oh, it's being buggy again. Oh yeah, 10,000 was our transition actually, I forgot. So we'll set QNH 1019 in there. Clouds are looking fine now. We should be able to see the airport. It should be about there, in there. So obviously we have to follow this mountain round really. I can now see myself on the charts, which is helping a lot. Yeah, it's a very beautiful approach into Innsbruck. Let's take a photo of this because I don't believe I actually have a thumbnail for this plane. I might actually, but it's worth another one, ain't it? That's a lovely thumbnail. Anyway, okay, I have to watch. So I'm saying where I am now so they have a clue where I am. But yeah, this plane is actually following the RNAV pretty well. I'll have to take control a bit earlier than I normally would because of how it's all spaced out. After 752, look, the final we have is so short to land. We have no space really. Normally we'd have a 6-mile final, but here we have about a 3-mile final. So it's quite difficult. I can't put my gear down in that short a time. Right, continuous for these. I'm going to do this now so I don't have to do it a bit later on when I'm sorting out. Well, literally, it's arming the spoilers, I think. All that was done. It's arming the spoilers and speed brakes, auto brake, flaps, that kind of thing. I'll set flaps 10 to make sure this thing knows what it's doing. I can, it's got less amount to put down its flaps then later. We're just passing. I haven't actually got the speed brake out anymore. They're not really needed, so I can't go any further than 10 though without it yelling at me. I think, yeah, because 15 is landing flaps, so I can't go any further than where it is currently without it going shouty. But we're passing 6,000 right now. I don't know where the Austrian is right now. I think it's actually in the middle. Yeah, it's at 4,000 feet, so it's in the middle of its circle to land. I can see it there, look, there's 2 of them actually quite close on the TCAS.
Austrian 6674 going around due to TCAS alert.
Oh, it's going around due to TCAS alert, yeah. So they've had a TCAS alert on the departing 7 Air 29 Papa heading to Las Palmas. So obviously, yeah, they've had a bit of a mishap there with that. Never mind. Right, I'm going to have to... I'm 9 miles out, so still not time to start fully slowing down. Right, there's the airport. So yeah, I have the runway in sight, so I can probably take control from here. How far are we out? 8 miles. I'll wait a little bit longer. I'll wait until about 6 miles. It's normally the best time to sort of take control. This plane seems to know what it's doing pretty well. It's a bit of a complicated approach, isn't it? I mean, we're really close to these mountains, and I can see why everyone loves flying into here. It's a bit more interesting than your typical airport. All part of the fun, that's why. Right, let's get approach armed now. Hopefully this thing can pick up something. Yep, it's got a glide path. We haven't got any kind of anything else. This means we can go on to the missed approach altitude of 9,500, and I can drop the speed right down to 134, which is today's approach. Oh, landing speed is now 133. Excellent. Drop the gear. Right, pretty much on final now. The Austrian doesn't seem to be much of an issue. It's gone around due to a TCAS alert. So I can't see it anywhere on my TCAS at all. So we should all be good. What's that saying? Drag required. No, we don't need drag. We're fine. In fact, speed brake is armed. Auto brakes are set. Let's take control of the aircraft for the very final part of the approach into Innsbruck Airport. Yeah, bit of an old sort of approach, this sort of following turning, when we're this much on final, but there we go. Interesting, I guess. I don't see the Austrian. I don't know why we're getting a terrain alert. We're fine. We're fine for terrain. Yep. Right, I need to follow this path. We are now on the approach glide, so I think there's minimums. Continue. There's nothing on the runway, nothing approaching or anything, so we're all good for landing. Very interesting approach this actually, it's been. We're approaching 1 hour and 40 minutes, which is our scheduled flight time for today, estimated.
Terrain.
Why are you saying terrain? Stop moaning. There's no terrain, we're fine. Our plane's being a bit old. obviously. It's like terrain. I'm like, there's no terrain, stop moaning. But yeah, there's nothing here. I don't know what's happened to the Austrian. I think it went around, didn't it? So we're all clear for landing. Get our airport chart up now. I think I should be okay for auto brakes 2. Hopefully, obviously I want to get down early. No floating the plane. The runway doesn't look that short, but I don't want to float the plane. Preferably, I'd rather a rough landing and just put it down on the touchdown marks. Really.
40, 30.
There. Plane, touchdown. They go a bit rough, but it's what I have to do here. Right. And versus out. Come on, we need to stop for Bravo. And 70 knots, reverses in. And manual brakes. Whoa. Push that. So we can stop in time. Stop the clock there. 1 hour and 40 minutes. Bit of a rough landing, not too bad though. We got stopped in time, that's all I care about. And we'll go ahead and vacate here on Bravo. That is us here in the lovely place of Innsbruck. Here we go. Vacating. Cool. We are parked and we are here. We have got some nice scenery. I've added a few little things in. Right, APU on. Needs to go back to ground. Taxi lights can come on. Line lights can come off. There we go. Hello and welcome everyone. As you can see, we are using custom scenery. It has like nice telling us what each stand is. Taxi stand 5 I think we're going to use. I don't really mind which stand we use, honestly. So the taxi indicates stand 5. Get our TCAS on, make sure we don't make sure we don't alert the Austrian that's approaching. I'm pretty sure it was the departing plane that fired up his TCAS, because I think mine was okay. So here you can see, look, we have little marks. Basically the default scenery has been modded slightly, and it's quite a nice scenery actually. I mean, I don't normally see them add in what gate it is. It's a nice little touch for the free scenery. Right, that recall light coming up means that the APU's fired up, because it doesn't like the APU being on because it's an electric issue, apparently. Obviously, because the recall is meant for in-flight, not meant for on the ground. Yeah, flight time was bang on time with 1 hour and 40 minutes in the end. Had a bit of ATC today as well. Pretty interesting approach, really. It's a fun airport, this. Got to fly here again in the future, that is for absolute certain. We are bang on the yellow line, so... There we go, parking brakes on, and make sure the APU power is turned on, and off go the engines. There we go, everyone. No jetway here, obviously. Quite a small airport, this. Very good parking. We get a little dance from you, or just a bow? Just a bow, okay. So nothing to do with dance. It's weird, but not always. Right, anti-collision lights off, taxi lights off. Electric gens can come off as well, and fuel pumps can come off. Hello and welcome everyone to Innsbruck. Go ahead and stop the block time there, 1 hour 49, not bad. Scheduled was 1 hour and 45, so I don't know why I do a block time clock actually, because Fly UK Skytrack also does a block time that's more accurate, obviously, because it does it like bang on from pushback. I don't start that other one bang on from pushback. So 1 hour and 51 in the end was our block time, not bad. Right, on goes the ground power, off goes the APU, and off go the seatbelt signs. That is it, guys. That is everything all turned off that needs to be turned off. This can go back to 0. Flight directors off, right side, then left side. Hello and welcome everyone to the lovely airport of Innsbruck, LOWI in Austria. And we'll go ahead and start deboarding now. Wheel chocks are on, so that can go off. But yeah, there's parking way off. Yeah, that is us on the ground here. Wait, see if that can we be there when the Austrian. I think because it went around, it's actually quite a lengthy go-around procedure here, so we won't see the Austrian land. It went around because of the Southern Air 29 Papa that got in the way on the TCAS alert. That's what happens when there's no ATC. That's the problem with the circle to land as well, is if there's something taken off, you're sort of heading into the plane that's taking off. It's a bit of a weird airport, but luckily I was on the side that the runway was operating today, so I didn't have to bother with a circle to land. Well, we'll wait to open the doors yet. We need to wait for the bus to show up. But here we are. Pretty good parking here in Innsbruck. Some nice scenery, actually. I quite like it. You've got some nice custom buildings, got a little car park, and of course all the little stands along the side. It's actually a really well thought out scenery, and it's absolutely free. Just go to Avsim. Avsim forums is where I get pretty much all of my free scenery, and I'll do a video also how to install, because again, the way this scenery told me to install it was by using the scenery installer in FSX, which, at least from my experience, never works. You click around the file explorer to activate the scenery, nothing happens. It's a lot easier to do it the way I do it and just put them in the add-on scenery. And sceneries like this, because they're so low detail, you don't have to worry about activating them and deactivating them. They look exactly like the default airports. The only difference is that they're up to date, really. But that is it, guys. That is us safely in Innsbruck Airport. Well, on earth is this bus to deboard the passengers? I feel like those passengers, you know, when you travel on a plane and you're at a remote stand and you just sit there waiting for 10 minutes after being on a 2-hour, 3-hour, 8-hour flight, and you're sitting there like, come on, open the door. This is what happens. It's these slow coaches. The bags are already off. They just do it so that you don't complain about how long you have to wait for your bags. But yeah, everyone's getting off now. Go ahead and stop recording on Skytrack. Hello and welcome everyone. Flew 673 miles today, which is about what was planned, so not bad at all. Flight time was exactly what was planned as well, so there we go. We missed out on ATC in Manchester, but I don't mind. Oh, come on, there's literally full ATC all throughout Europe now. It would have been nice to get, wouldn't it? London Centre, Manchester, and Germany would be full ATC everywhere, but unfortunately, that is not how we have it. That's just how it is, isn't it? But yeah, we're on the ground safely. I'm not going to wait for that Austrian to land because, yeah, it's 9,500 feet, actually. It's a very lengthy go-around procedure here. That's the only thing I will say. But everyone's deboarding safely. Everything's all turned off and good. So I hope everyone enjoys the rest. I know at the very start when I was setting up the plane, I actually had the background music on by mistake. I'm having to get used to turning that off myself. It's quite a new thing, having the background music. I'll go ahead and disconnect from Vatsim now. But yeah, it's quite a new thing to me having to do that. But yeah, join me next stream Wednesday 7 PM BST for some VFR flying, and then Thursday 1:15 PM. I can't wait for that. We are flying from London City to Jersey to Southampton, and then Saturday I think we're starting at 9:40 AM, so a little bit of a late starter on the Saturday, or maybe it's 9:20. No, it's 9:40, definitely 9:40 I think, yeah, maybe 9:45, where we are flying. Well, it's 9:30 actually. It's somewhere around there. Let me check now on my website. But yeah, we'll be flying on the CityLink from Stansted to Tel Aviv. CityLink, full ATC, and then Sunday normal time 8:30 AM. I'll be taking a flight from Bergen to Oslo Gardermoen, and I have GSX working for that airport now, and then back to Bergen. I'll get some scenery installed for Bergen as well. But But yeah, it should be absolutely great. Obviously, London City and Jersey, I already have scenery for. I don't think I've installed UK 2000 Southampton, so I'll do that now as well. But yeah, absolutely great. There is obviously a slight late, 9:40 a.m. next Saturday, so an hour and 10 minutes late we're starting to fit in with event timings, but it should be absolutely great fun. Can't wait for that. But today's been an absolutely wonderful stream. I will leave you with the background music. See you on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Today we had 13 playbacks, not bad. I think my phone was cutting in and out there. But there we go. I hope you guys did really enjoy today's stream. Bit of a normal stream today rather than the craziness we had yesterday. 6 hour stream. But thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. Hope to see you next time. I will leave you with the background music and bye bye.